Well, you may have seen this week, President Trump hosted Elon Musk on the White House lawn, where Trump sat in a red Model S Tesla. This, of course, comes after Tesla dealerships and Tesla cars all across the nation have been vandalized in response to Elon Musk and the DOGE team's efforts to reduce the waste, fraud, and abuse that's happening within our government. In response to the backlash, President Trump stated, quote, "I think he's been treated very unfairly by a small group of people. And I just want people to know that he can't be penalized for being a patriot. And he's a great patriot, and he's also done an incredible job with Tesla," end quote. You know, it's funny. You would think that Americans on really all ends of the political spectrum would be in favor of reducing waste and perhaps getting some of our hard-earned tax dollars back. But somehow the thought of this infuriates the left, and the party who once stood for peace and love now openly condone and exemplify violence. So who exactly are these people, and is there a larger covert effort playing out to create chaos from within? Here now to help answer that, host of the JD Rucker Show and editor of the Liberty Daily and America First Report, JD Rucker. JD, it's great to see you. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me back on, Allison.
Absolutely. Well, JD, you've been doing a lot of great work at exposing some of the shadowy figures behind what we're seeing play out in response to DOGE and Elon Musk and Tesla. Break down for us what is really going on here.
Yeah, so it's funny because right after the election, I had assumed that there was going to be this mass chaos, very similar to the George Floyd Summer of Love. And when that didn't materialize, I'm thinking, what in the world is going on here? Where is George Soros? Where are the various globalist elite cabal members? Where are they putting their efforts? And it wasn't until we started seeing what's been happening over the last month or so that's like, that's what it was. They weren't going to protest Trump. They were going to wait to see what happens and then figure out what their target was going to be. And apparently their target has been chosen as Elon Musk because he's a billionaire, which instantly apparently makes him bad. Of course, the protests are being driven by billionaires. The money is being funded through organizations such as Act Blue, and all of this is coming out, and they don't care. They're not worried about getting busted by legacy media because the legacy media is just going to sit there and say, he's a billionaire and he's trying to stop people from curing cancer, and he's, and his Teslas are so bad for the environment. I mean, they'll go with any narrative that they think can stick. And if it doesn't stick, you know what they're going to do? They're just going to try a new narrative. Elon Musk is doing everything he can. President Trump is giving him the leeway, but not giving him just free reign the way the Democrats are trying to say. He's actually going out there and trying to do what Americans should, like you said, everybody on both sides of the aisle should be cheering him on today.
Yeah, it really is amazing to see him do one thing and then leave it to the liberals and the leftist media to just completely spin the narrative and make it out to seem as though he's doing the exact opposite. It's amazing to be here in DC and actually witness it firsthand when I'm literally, at the White House and I hear the words come out, and then to see what's printed in the liberal media, it's really just despicable. But JD, since we're talking about Elon and billionaires, I have to get your take on this because I have to say, I was a bit startled when on the second day in office, Trump aligned himself with billionaires and said they'd be embarking on a massive AI infrastructure project. And not only that, but it would be used to accelerate the production of customized vaccines. Though you and I have, a lot of hope in this administration and their push against globalism, what do you think happens next when a Democrat gets in charge? I mean, this massive AI infrastructure that is currently being built, could it be potentially transformed into a World Economic Forum style digital prison?
Not only could it be, I would say it's almost destined to be. It's a question of when. To handle the first part of your question, let's just hope that Democrats never, ever, 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 ever get back in office. I know that's unrealistic, but we've seen some amazing things happening. You're right, though, when they trotted out Sam Altman and Larry Ellison and started talking about, hey, you'll be able to get your vaccine in like 48 hours, and it'll be a personalized vaccine driven by artificial intelligence. We just need $500 billion and a bunch of foreign money, and everything's going to be fine. And I'm very glad, by the way, that Elon Musk, once again, coming out and basically speaking out against this, not opposing it, just noting that there needs to be caution. This is the path to many, many potential bad things, and I'm not going to try to give anybody any ideas. But when that first came out, my first thought was, holy cow, this really is it. This is a
Yeah.
pathway through. You can go down the biblical path. You can go down the conspiratorial path. Whatever direction you're looking at, this does not bode well, and it's something that we are going to have to address. But then the counter argument, Allison, that I've heard this from Glenn Beck, I've heard this from other people, is that somebody's going to do it anyway. It might as well be us. Better that we do it instead of communist China. I understand, but all of this entire thing, from artificial intelligence to artificial general intelligence, which they're talking about, Sam Altman himself from OpenAI said they're getting this year, then artificial superintelligence, then it's Skynet, and you've got robot dogs with machine guns flying with jetpacks and taking out children.
Yeah. I would be lying if I said that this didn't absolutely terrify me. And I've been admittedly a skeptic of Elon Musk for quite some time. That doesn't change the fact that what he's doing right now is excellent. He's doing a lot of great work for the American people. But I can't help but think that maybe there's something more nefarious that could potentially happen down the road. Like you said, it may be inevitable. And I just think it's interesting, JD, that so many Christians and conservatives talked openly about this prior to the new Trump administration coming into office. And there was a lot of skepticism surrounding Elon Musk because of things like him talking openly about chipping our brains and, saying that there's never going to be money, putting us on some, universal system. In fact, I have a clip of that. Let's roll that, and then we'll come back to get your thoughts.
Well, I think once you have humanoid robots and deep intelligence, you can basically have quasi-infinite products and services available. So with Tesla building the most advanced humanoid robot, then those humanoid robots can be directed by deep intelligence at the data center level. Say you can produce any product, provide any service. There's really no limit to the economy at that point. You can make anything. At that point, will money even be meaningful? I don't know. It might not be. The economic output is productivity per capita times how many people do you have. If in the form of humanoid robots, you have no meaningful limit on the number of robots, and the robots can basically do anything, then you'll have a sort of a universal high income situation.
So as I was saying, JD, it wasn't long ago when conservatives and Bible-believing Christians were really fearing the soon development of a mark of the beast type system. Is there any way you could conceive that AI would not be involved in that? And is that eventually where this is headed?
Yeah, I think it definitely is headed. Not necessarily. We keep talking in eventualities here, Allison, but we're fast approaching 2030, and I think that's I think we've got not necessarily a deadline. I don't want to start setting dates, but we've got a pretty good idea of when a lot of things are going to start happening, and that is right now, getting ready for whatever they have planned for the future. It's funny because people ask me, why would they go with Elon Musk? Why would they, if you're correct, because I've offer the same theories that you've discussed there yourself. Why would they go with Elon Musk? I'm like, it's obvious. If you're going to get the people on the left, all you got to do is say you'll own nothing and you'll be happy, and they'll be like, oh, okay. But how do you get people on the right, people that love freedom? You have to go after them with something or someone who they can trust. Somebody that if Bill Gates or Klaus Schwab or George Soros or any of those guys bought X, we'd be gone. But it was Elon Musk that bought X. It was Elon Musk, free speech guy, that bought X. It was the guy that he's basically pitching this idea of, well, maybe money will be meaningless. That's conservative fodder for you will own nothing, and don't worry, you're going to be happy. Like you said, he's wanting to put chips in our brains. He wants those chips connected to the internet. He's putting satellites in the sky that are going to make internet ubiquitous across the globe. Then you get into the whole transhumanism aspect of it. You get into, there's a lot of suspicion here. So this reminds me a little bit of a terrible movie. It was Attack of the Clones. It was like the second Star Wars movie. But you're sitting there. It's like, there's stormtroopers. And it's like, yeah, I know they're the bad guys eventually, but right now they're kind of the good guys. That's sort of how I feel about Elon Musk. It's like, I know that chances are at some point in the future, he's going to point his blaster at us and shoot us in the back. But in the meantime, what he's doing is good. President Trump has the reins. It's like, let's use him, and then let's be ready to watch him when he turns against us, which I think will be sometime between now in 2030.
Yeah. I think you're right. That is
Crazy.
a perfect analogy. JD, we are all out of time today. Let's hope the Lord returns before we have to deal with any of that, right? Thank you so much for thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for all the great work you do. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.